if this blue light frequency is actually awakening consciousness for everyone on the earth, then why isn't it waking up our politicians? This was a real question that someone asked, and you know what? I know a lot of people are asking that same question. So I'm going to try to venture in a little bit and see if I can touch on that to help us maybe understand a little bit more. So my name is Nancy Rebecca, and I look at the entire world through the frequency of energy as a clairvoyant, whether it's from through depression or anxiety or panic attacks, at the human level, or whether it's galactic visitations from star beings. That's what I like to address in my YouTube channel. So please go ahead and click the subscribe button, share it with anybody who you think might really enjoy these. And don't forget to click the bell so that every time I drop a new video teaching that you will be notified. All right, so let me see if I can start to answer this question, because one of the things, a lot of people want to know, which side of the fence I stand on. I have students who believe in all sorts of ways, and so I really try to stay kind of neutral about it. And the way that I explain it, in a lot of ways, it's like I haven't totally come into balance with what I feel that my answer is. And so what do I mean by that about coming into balance? Well, at a human level, I can have some really strong feelings about our political environment. And from a spiritual level, I can have a totally different perspective about our political environment. But it's worth mentioning about our banking system and about our medical system, because all three of those systems are not being able to uphold their institutions in these higher levels of frequencies. And so we're always kind of thinking, well, how is that going to work? If they're going to crumble, what's going to replace it? But I just want to let you know that, yeah, it's crumbling in some places, but there's a lot of really good people in politics, in the banking system, in the medical system, on the inside, that I can tell you, they didn't just start today. I've been working with medical people and banking people and political people for over 30 years. And there's a lot of people on the inside that have seen that changes have been needed for a long time, and they've been beating their own head against the wall, wondering, will this ever change, and am I making a difference? So I just want to say that from that perspective. So, in the political system of, let's say, consciousness, well, let's visit that. What is consciousness? What does awake mean? And right now here in the United States, we've got one political side, they call it the woke. What's the woke? Like, I don't totally understand it, but it's like, oh, they're the woke ones, and they're not the woke ones. And I don't even know what it is. But what I can say is, about that is they're just not keeping up with the times. I know this, but let me talk about what awake means to me and the way that I see it. So for me, in a really kind of simplistic way, it's like you're asleep and you're awake. You're asleep at night, you're sleeping in the bed, and then you wake up in the morning and you go make coffee. But if you wake up in the morning and you go make coffee, but yet you're still kind of half asleep, you're going to kind of walk down the hall or walk down the stairs or go to the kitchen. You're not even maybe noticing that there's a pile of dishes there or anything. It's just you're getting the coffee pot ready. You're doing all this stuff. You've got this one single focus. So you may be awake in one part of your life and still be asleep and not notice that there's dishes in the sink and there's, dirty pans on the stove. You don't notice that somebody left the milk out, all those things. So you're awake, but you're not awake. And so that in that frequency, in the spiritual level, it can be the same, that there's parts of your life where you can really see with great clarity what needs to happen and change, but you're not noticing their bigger picture. So consciousness means you can be awake, but to be consciously awake means that you're going to look 360 degrees around you, and you can sense and know everything that's happening around you at the same time. But in addition to that, when you're moving to another frequency of understanding, a higher frequency, we kind of talk about that fourth, fifth dimensional realm, you can easily look at life as from that perspective of it's not a problem. At the human perspective, at the physical, it's like everything's a problem. It's a problem. I don't know how we're going to fix this problem, but it is a problem. So a lot at the human level, we see, wow, our politics is beyond broken. Wow, the banking system, the medical system, it's a mess. I don't even know where they're going to begin to fix it. It's a real mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. But at the higher conscious awakened state, again, what I keep hearing is, Nancy, you just can't get it right now. You just can't get that this light is helping to open those doors, open those cabinets, open those trunks, to let you see the expanded, awakened possibilities of the changes that can be made. So that's that consciousness. So when this individual, speaking for many individuals, asked, so if this blue light is awakening consciousness, then how come it's not waking up our politicians? So first of all, we can't really say who's awake or who's not awake. Like I can't say I'm awake and you're not awake, because I've done enough reading. Sorry. I've had enough women who are my clients bring their husbands in because they don't think their husbands are very conscious, only to realize that their husbands live so in the present moment, they're probably more consciously awake than we ever will be. So from the outside, you really can't tell who's consciously awake and who isn't. And it's the same with politicians, that there's going to be some good people on the inside that are trying to do good things. We cannot lump them all in. At the high, multi-dimensional levels, so let's just say you're up at the 12th dimension where the archangels live, and they're looking down, and they're like, they're looking down, and it's like, wow, isn't it beautiful? They're starting to work together. And here we're down here on Earth going, we're never going to be able to work together. So you see there's that at that 12th dimension, that's super awake. But at our third dimension, all we can see is negative, a mess. We're so frustrated. So this is what I know to be a truth. When you're disconnected from your spirit, your light, your higher wise self, there's a lot of people disconnected right now. If you're disconnected, you're only going to be able to see your choices, your options, your decisions, your votes, your political votes, your banking votes, your medical votes. You're only going to see it from that disconnected state. As the frequency and as the blue light's coming in, it's helping to bring that higher frequency down. More people are starting to reconnect with their own soul, with their own spirit. How do I know this to be true? I can see it. And so the example I like to give is, some of you have heard me talk about working with homeless youth, ages 18-25 range. So, they're in that young adult phase where they thought that they were broken, unrepairably broken. They believed that some people had a spirit and some people don't have a spirit. And they believed they didn't have a spirit. They didn't have a light, because if they did, they wouldn't be discarded into a homeless state, or they wouldn't be broken and addicted to drugs, or their family wouldn't have kicked them out, which a lot of times the family systems are really broken. Okay. So when I started teaching them meditation and how to bring the light of their own spirit into their body, it changed everything. You know, it isn't like suddenly, yeah, they did get jobs. Yep, they did get housing. Yep, they really start feeling good about themselves. But if they stopped connecting with their own light, or they stopped meditating, and it's the truth for all of us, we can drop into those heavier, depressive, anxious states again. So it needs to be a daily practice of connecting with your light, praying, singing, dancing, getting out in nature, doing things that help you connect with your own soul. All right. It's a broken system. It's a breaking system. It's a crumbling system. It's a disconnected. All those systems are disconnected. But there are systems that are being built as we speak. We don't hear about them, but they are on the rise, so that when those other systems crumble, we're going to be able to move into a new place of being. And I don't know what that is going to look like, and you don't know what that's going to look like, but it'll be those states of being a pleasant surprise. And unfortunately, it might not happen today, and it might not happen, next year. But I'm already starting to see systems change a lot. However, I have to tell you a story. I shouldn't even tell the story. I mean, it just happened a few days ago, and I'm so shocked by the story. All right. So I wanted to talk to a financial person. I had some questions about retirement and retirement accounts and, Medicare and Medicaid, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I'm talking to this person, and I won't tell which company they're from, but they're from a very famous company. And so I was trying to explain to this guy what I do. What do I do for a living? Well, I'm a clairvoyant psychic. I teach meditation, intuitive development. I teach people how to be professional psychics to help people connect to their light, in a nutshell. So then he asked, well, do you have a banking account? I'm like, well, yeah, I have a banking account. Yeah, do you have a real banking account? Yeah, I have a real banking account. So the bank will give you a card and checks and all that stuff. And I didn't get what he was getting at. I didn't get it. But to make a very long, funny, not so funny story to elaborate, I'm going to make it short. At the end of the hour, this guy literally said, so how much marijuana do you sell through your business every month? Now, I thought he was joking. And I said, what? And so he says it again, how much marijuana do you sell through your business? And I'm like, none. I don't sell marijuana. And he goes, well, your business name, Intuitive Mind, sounds a bit ambiguous. And I'm like, what's ambiguous about intuition? So anyway, the bottom line was, here's this guy who thinks that I have a fake business to launder money through by selling drugs. Do I look like a drug dealer? Now, this was for real. I'm telling you, this really happened. So when I say that, I talked to my dad about it, and my dad just said, they are so behind the times. Our banking system is so behind the times. They just don't get it, Nancy, and I don't know that they're ever going to get it. But we need some new people with fresh thinking that are more open-minded, in the banking system. And he said, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So the bottom line was, like, and the guy said, there's no one in the United States. My God, I can't believe I'm telling you this. But he actually said there's no one in the whole United States that would ever take my money to invest it. So anyway, I have to tell you, I was laughing, and I was laughing because I felt sorry for the guy. I felt sorry for the guy because he's just so narrow-minded. And I laughed all the way to my car, and I laughed all the way home, and then I got mad. So yes, I know our political system is breaking, and yes, I know the banking system is breaking, and yes, I know our medical system is breaking, but you know what? What I also know, being a nurse, our medical system is going to be doing some really fantastic discoveries in the next 5 years that are going to blow your mind. We're really moving into quantum development. Don't even get, I'm not being political about AI, but I'm just telling you there's a lot of really cool things coming down the pipe. I don't know about the banking system. I don't know totally about the political system, but what I know to be a truth is that energetically, as a psychic clairvoyant who can see from the energetic world into the physical world, these systems ultimately do not stand a chance staying stuck and staying broken. Ultimately, they don't stand a chance. And yes, I truly believe that even our politicians and our bankers and our medical administrators are all being influenced by the blue light, but everybody in the world has their own pace in which that will absorb and they will awaken to it. We're a system too, right? We're a human system, and our human system is broken as well, not just institutions. So I don't know if that's going to answer anything, and I hope I was able to walk that line very carefully and neutrally, because I'm human. I get to have my opinions, my beliefs, and you do too. So hope that helped. If you have a story like I have about the baker that thought I was selling drugs, please let me have a good laugh about it by putting that in the comment section, or, in the medical system or the political system. It's like, let's keep laughing, because laughing is a high vibe. But at the same time, let's challenge those systems. Let's keep challenging those systems to show up in the light in the way that they need to forevermore. All right, that's it. Please subscribe. I look forward to seeing you on the next video, and put in the comments section things that you would like to see me do a video on, a teaching on, and I will be happy to consider it. All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.